Okay, 19-year-old black twins from the state of Georgia, Lawrenceville, Georgia to be exact, Nazir and Kadir Lewis, 19 years of age, found in a racist sundown town in some kind of mountain area or on top of a mountain or something like that. Condolences to their family. Really messed up situation. They were found shot to death in a place called Bell Mountain. Now, this place, Bell Mountain, is 90 miles from where they live. Okay, 90 miles from where they live, they were found by a hiker. This place, Bell Mountain, is near the North Carolina border. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says that this was a murder-suicide. Okay, they said it was a murder-suicide. So they're saying that these twins went out to this place that they'd never been to before in this mountain, in this sundown town. One twin pulled out a gun, shot his twin brother, then the other one shot himself. Case over. Now, these two were young boys, 19 years of age, good boys, okay? And they were supposed to be flying out to Boston, from Georgia to Boston to see friends. Never made it there, but they ended up in this sundown town, this white supremacist, racist place in the mountains. This place has 0 black people, population 0 black people, okay? They book a flight to Boston last Friday at 7 a.m. 24 hours later, they're found in this mountain. Okay, this place that they were found is called Hiwassee, Georgia, okay? This mountainous area, never been there, never heard of it. These boys aren't hikers. They're from a good family. And they expect people to believe that they just went out there and said, hey, I'm gonna shoot you. How could this story even play out, people? It just doesn't play out. It makes absolutely no sense.
A line 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville. The GBI initially investigating this as a murder-suicide, but tonight the family says they're not buying it. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn spoke with them just a few hours ago. He's live for us in our newsroom with more on this investigation and what the family has to say, Cody.
Well, Jennifer, the brothers Kadir and Nazir Lewis were twins. The GBI says a hiker found their bodies at the top of Bell Mountain on Saturday morning. Both had been shot. The family couldn't believe it when they got the call hours later, knowing the twin brothers were supposed to be in Boston visiting friends.
Greetings from the east to north to south, and this wicked as west. The topic: 2 twins in different skins. The questions: why do you think law enforcement prioritize these twins and forsake these skins? Let's get into it. I am your host. I am the one.
Okay, you know, every good Christian white person I've ever talked to, they will tell me this case is not about race. Mr. White? Yeah, he's here. Okay. They'll say, this case is not about race. Okay. Carmelo Anthony and what he was accused of. And he pretty much said, okay, I was defending myself. But the first thing these good Christian, they will tell me in a minute, this whole thing is not about race. And I'm going to tell you, it's about race. It's always about race. Now, the young man earlier, the 2 twins earlier in this video, they were killed. They had their lives taken from them. I've never seen the national media make a big deal about what happened to these black twins. Again, the title was 2 twins in different skins. If you would notice how they prioritize these twins, law enforcement jumped on the case and immediately charged Carmelo Anthony with murder. It didn't take them no time to charge. The charges came quick. Now, in the case of the two black twins, I would say their names, but it's hard for me to pronounce it, so I don't want to mess their names up, just out of respect. But the two black twins, there was no charges against supposedly the white firefighter that exposed pictures of their bodies. He's a sick individual. But what they charged him with was not murder. So in other words, there's no major charges against this good Christian man. There's no charges. And the first thing they'll tell us is it's not about race. It is definitely about race. And I'm going to just let you know, the criminal justice system and their people are very good at what they do. If they took the twin, the white twin, I forgot his name, I'll call him Mr. Austin. How's that? The white twin that is still alive, if they took him into an interrogation room, they can get the truth out of him easily. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee you his mom know the truth. I can guarantee you the law enforcement officers, they know the truth. And of course, he know the truth. But what he would do is sacrifice a young black boy, young man, life. He will allow him to spend a life in prison instead of coming out and telling the truth. His mother know the truth. And he talking about prayers. Pray for me? Really? This lady know her son. Matter of fact, the pops know his son. And I'm pretty sure they had a conversation about what really happened. But their pride will not allow them to just say, you know what, drop the charges, let him out. So when these good Christian white people tell me about how much Christians they are, give me a break. You can take that and your white man Jesus and go to hell. You'll get that one next week. Because I don't even want to get into Christianity. But the point is this. You talking about how much religion you really have. And you devil, you know the truth. And you know your son. You law enforcement officers. I'm pretty sure you got people on the job 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. You know the truth. There are some career criminals, young men. When they go into that interrogation room, and they're pretty good at what they do. I'm not glorifying crime, but they're good at what they do. And eventually, they confess. And trust me when I tell you, some of them dudes know exactly what to say. This young, I'll call him Mr. Austin, they can take him in an interrogation room and break him down, and they can get the truth out of him easily. Easily. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure certain people know the truth that is in law enforcement. But instead, they would prefer or rather have Carmelo Anthony go to jail. This man is the devil. Now I'm going to show the next video. And the reason why, there is a witness that there's a story circulating on social media of what really happened. Let me give you that clip first, and then I'll come back.
It was raining. It got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. He had to break. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife on his person, bro.
You know what? Let me set the scene. Let me set the scene again. It's a rainstorm. So the brother go just to get out of the rain. Common sense. You know, the young kids today, they grab their phone and start talking to their girl. It just makes sense, right? Now, here come these people. What people? What people? Hold on. It's Mr. White, leave. Hold on. Okay. Here come these people right here. Okay. What are you doing in this tent? It's none of your business what I'm doing here. I'm minding my business, mind yours. And then they proceeded. Now remember, these twins on the football team, probably pretty big dudes, you know. And I believe they attacked him. And I do believe he defended himself. I hear a lot of people say, well, you know, really, you use this. Really? Again, I made a video yesterday. When you got multiple attackers, do what you need to do to defend your life. One of the things that the narrative that the mainstream media has pushed, especially the so-called conservatives, you know, people like Megyn Kelly or Fox News or any, trust me, there is not a difference between MSN, whatever the hell they call that one, and Fox News. You know, one comes from a perspective of more conservative, one comes from a perspective of less conservative. But again, when it comes down to black people, they view us as the same. But my point is this: they get, people like Megyn Kelly, okay, America's sweetheart, blonde hair, blue-eyed devil. You know, so therefore you got the majority of the population would, you know, view her and see what she has to say. She's a down-home racist devil. And then she'll make statements that's terrible. Now, she was not there. Neither was I. But then she have a platform to rile up the good Christian. You get them all riled up. Because her perspective was so far off with no details, but she could care less. That's the problem in a nutshell. Now, when the truth come out, they say, you know what, I'm going to bury it. It takes a devil to enslave a person when they have evidence to free the person or at least tell the truth about it. The Bible says, don't bear false witness against your neighbor. There's a crime. That's a crime in itself, but there's a price you must pay when you bear false witness against your neighbor. Let me go to the next clip.
That have been published, if they weren't lying and he didn't punch him in the face, right? If they didn't threaten him with physicality, he didn't punch him in his face, do you still think that murder was
Charles,
okay?
I've talked to two
Do you
students.
still think that murder
Let me go
was
a little
okay?
deeper. I've talked to two students
Okay.
who were right there, Caucasian students.
Okay.
And they told me, yes, he was punched in the face.
Who were those students?
I'm not going to name them.
Okay, of course you're not.
But those two
because you're
students,
lying to Fox
no,
Soul.
you are damn lying.
No, I'm
I
not.
talked to those two students.
You were the same
and
person.
They admitted that he punched that boy in the face after threatening him, Charles.
Okay, you were very clear.
I've talked to witnesses. I've talked to the family. I've talked to the grandfather.
Which family? Which family?
Carmelo Anthony's family.
Exactly.
And I've talked to his family.
You're getting paid.
And gotten
You're
details.
getting paid,
not
Carmelo?
a penny.
Yeah,
not a penny.
yet.
But
Here's
guess
the
what?
deal.
I'll say this to you.
Don't say it.
Not only am I not getting paid, I'm sending some of my money to his defense fund.
Okay, hey,
because that young brother
let's talk
deserves
about
an adequate and thorough defense, and I'm donating to it, and I pray others do also.
So if they're available.
But there's all
Why
kind of lies
did you
going on.
send
There
me
are all kind of lies going on.
Actually, there's not, right?
Now,
So-
what about this one?
So there, I read a
Now,
sign.
this young
I'm
man who
not
was
finished.
killed.
You can yell. I
Hold
can
on,
yell
dude.
too. No, you interrupted me.
You opening your mouth to me
you've
like
been
that.
Yelling at
Don't
me the
fight
whole
me.
time.
You
You've been
white
yelling
folks
the whole
are
time.
reaping what you sow.
White folks.
You're
How many
reaping
times?
what you sow.
White folks
You're
are
reaping what you sow.
So what did Austin Metcalf deserve to get murdered in your book?
When he threatened more than once.
Okay.
When he approached
What did he say?
Let me finish.
What did he say?
When he threatened that,
Well, how did he
that
threaten
if he did not give up his seat, what he was going to do.
What did he say
When
he
he
was gonna
threatened
do?
that young
What
man
did he say?
that if you don't move, I'm going to punch you in your face.
Okay.
2. 3, when he decided that he was going to take his hand, punch that innocent kid in the face who didn't threaten him, who was not breaking any laws, who was not violating no school policies or procedures. When he did that, he crossed the line.
he was violating
And it gave Carmelo Anthony the right to defend himself. Carmelo Anthony was not the instigator. He was not the initial aggressor. The instigator, the threatener, and the initial aggressor, Mr. Metcalf, died. He brought that on himself.
Okay. That's a disgusting take, right? But you said he wasn't breaking any rules. Was it a violation of school policy to come to the track meet armed with a deadly weapon?
So now,
yes or no?
Wait a minute.
Yes or no?
It wasn't that kind of knife.
Yes or no?
It was that kind of knife.
Yes or no?
It was not that kind of knife.
Well, what kind of knife was it?
That's the lie being told.
No.
It was not no butcher knife, no kitchen knife. It wasn't no buck knife. It wasn't that kind of knife.
What kind of knife was it?
See, I'm going to be quiet right now. It's going to come out.
Oh,
Those knives that he used were the same ones they used to help put them tents up. But I want, as an American, that says, if you go up to somebody who's not doing anything wrong to you, who's not threatening you, and you start threatening them, and then you follow up those threats by physically attacking them, they got a right to use whatever force that is necessary to stop that assault and that aggressor. That's the America that I want.
See, that's
but
not the story
unfortunately,
that's out there.
whenever black people or black men do that to a white person,
Yes,
it's
that's what
justified.
it is.
Whenever
That's
a white person kill a
that's-
black person,
Okay.
just thinking they were threatened, it's justified.
So-
You said on this show, and you said Daniel Penny was not guilty. You said on this show and said Daniel Penny should be found not guilty, that it was wrong that he be charged. And the young man that he choked to death did not physically assault Daniel Penny at all. He was threatening somebody else, and Daniel Penny intervened and choked him to death. So how in the hell can you sit here right now and say that a young man who was threatened over and over, as Carmelo Anthony was, and was punched, that he doesn't have a right to defend himself? Because in the other case, Mr. Penny is white, and in this case, Daniel, in this case, Carmelo Anthony is black.
Actually.
And you know what? They will tell you with a straight face, it's not about race. They will tell you with a straight face, it's not about race. Most people, I don't care what they say, even in a spouse, in an interracial relationship, it'll boil down to race. Thank you for watching. I am your host. I am the one.